It has come as no surprise that opposition leader Morgan Tsvangirai has decided to step up to the plate and prepare to face Robert Mugabe in a second-round election. Not doing so would have handed the 84-year-old incumbent automatic victory.
We know that another election may bring more violence, more gloom, and more betrayal. But we also know a runoff election could finally knock out the dictator for good. A runoff election could be the final round in a very long fight to liberate ourselves from our former liberator.
Tsvangirai, who beat Mugabe in the first round, believes he was cheated of an outright win and has called on regional leaders to ensure that if a runoff does take place in Zimbabwe, it is free and fair. His party, the Movement for Democratic Change, or MDC, has called for the total cessation of violence, for international observers and independent media to be allowed in, for the deployment of peacekeepers, and for appointment of an impartial electoral commission to run the poll. Robert Mugabe's government has told CNN that no observers from the United States, Britain, European Union or United Nations would be allowed to monitor the poll because of the belief that all want regime change in Zimbabwe. The MDC is hoping the African Union and regional leaders will put pressure on Mugabe to meet its demands. Many Zimbabweans have been living in fear since the first round of voting on March 29. This child, one of the latest victims of a violent and uncontrollable post-election backlash, hit with a stone allegedly because his caregiver voted for the opposition. This couple says they were driven off their farm by thugs pledging allegiance to Mugabe.
They said that we were white pigs, that Blair is a toilet, that we've stolen all the land from them. What else did they say though?
Tsvangirai will never
Tsvangirai,
be in charge.
They will always rule. They will always rule here. Tsvangirai will never be in charge.
Will those who have been beaten and displaced be brave enough to vote again? Tsvangirai seems to think so.
They believe that we as a nation are brave enough, are strong enough, and are angry enough to fight an election once again. We as MDC believe our people would feel betrayed if we shied away from the final knockout.
For as long as a solution is not found, it is ordinary Zimbabweans who will continue bearing the brunt of a political impasse and an economy that continues to deteriorate. Nkepile Mabuse, CNN, Johannesburg.